Regional transport in Germany has seen a growing importance in recent years, and this new regional high-speed train introduced by Deutsche Bahn is a testament to that. This game-changing RE29 service between Erfurt and Nuremberg now provides a cheaper alternative to the ICE, while still being fast thanks to its 190km/h top speed. I'll be checking out this brand new service and seeing why I think it's a brilliant step forward, and you'll of course be coming along with me. Now join me as the journey continues. Erfurt Hauptbahnhof is the main station serving the largest city in Germany's Thuringia region. Much of the current station's original charm and architecture still remains from when it was first built in 1890, despite its heavy refurbishment in the early 2000s for the launch of ICE high-speed services. The original station building from 1846 still remains, located just adjacent to the current one we'll be using today. The 19th century design is well preserved inside the station too. Germany's state railway Deutsche Bahn is the main operator serving the station, with plenty of ticketing facilities and information points to help passengers get where they need to go. There are also plenty of shops and amenities which will help prepare you for your onward journey. Erfurt Hauptbahnhof sees mixed traffic, including from the city's extensive bus and tram network just outside, and it's here where I found out that party trams are actually a thing. Maybe one to try next time. Speaking of which, if you'd want to explore the city, there are plenty of lockers to place heavy luggage if you don't fancy carrying it around with you all day. Anyway, whilst our train is not showing on the departure boards yet, we can check where it is using the paper timetables here, which is the 1652 RE29 service to Nurnberg Hauptbahnhof from platform 2. The train shed here at Erfurt is really something to admire, and is the perfect setting to showcase the various train services this station sees, ranging from premium high-speed ICE services to cities such as Berlin and Leipzig, local regional traffic across Germany's Thuringen region, and local trains which operate across small lines. Speaking of which, our train arrives into the platform around 4 minutes ahead of departure. Services on the high-speed portion of the Franken-Thuringen Express are operated using these brand new Siemens Desiro high-capacity units, which entered service with Deutsche Bahn around a week before this video was recorded. Each of these Desiro high-capacity sets features 4 double-decker intermediate coaches and 2 single-decker driving vehicles, making up 6 passenger carriages in total. The Desiro HC sets are widely used across the various regions of Germany and will soon gain further international coverage by operating on Egypt's domestic network as part of a large contract with Siemens to completely redevelop the country's rail network. These 8 190km/h sets are used exclusively on Franken-Thuringen Express services between Bavaria and Thuringia, and replace the previous Siemens Vectron loco hauls which operated the RE19 service from Nuremberg to Sonneberg, whilst also enabling the launch of this brand new RE29 service from Erfurt to Nuremberg with up to 5 return services a day at the time of filming. Okay, let's get inside. Level boarding is provided through retractable step sections, which is a growing norm across trains in Europe nowadays. Disappointingly, first class is in a 2x2 layout, and while this is technically a regional train, bear in mind similar services such as the Munich to Nuremberg Express have 2x1 seating, so it is possible. Today's route sees almost exclusive use of the Erfurt to Nuremberg high-speed line, although we diverge fairly early on to Coburg before rejoining the line afterwards for the remainder of its length. After making a number of additional stops en route, the expected arrival at Nurnberg Hauptbahnhof is around 12 to 8 Central European time, taking just under 2 hours to cover the 236km distance. We depart Erfurt 2 minutes late at 17:54 Central European time. Those familiar with German railways will know they aren't particularly punctual, so I was expecting a delay in all honesty, even if it is small. Immediately after leaving Erfurt, we pick up speed as we begin to enter the Erfurt to Nuremberg high-speed line. This line opened in December 2017 and has since reduced the fastest ICE journey times to Nuremberg to 1 hour and 20 minutes, thanks to its 300 km/h top speed. Our Desiro HC train, however, will only be doing 190 km/h on the sections of the line that it runs on, though this is still very impressive for a regional train. Oh, and if you want to enjoy the views of the Thuringian forest on the route, I recommend going to the top deck if you're in second class, provided it's not incredibly busy. Now that we're settled into the journey, let's check out the interior here in first class. To be honest, the seat isn't massively comfortable, but for a regional train it's perfectly acceptable. The ergonomics, as with most Siemens trains, are top notch. On the aisle and the middle there's a foldable armrest, and just underneath is a 220V power socket for charging laptops and mobile devices. Whilst I couldn't find a recline lever, the legroom on these is very good, and this comes despite the support bar underneath, which does normally ruin this. A fold-down tray table is also in front, including a cup holder, which is good for highlighting the silky smooth ride quality of these Desiro sets. The bay seats, on the other hand, have a small section to place cups and small devices, such as a phone, and also include bins underneath. As you can see, the bay seating has a near perfect window alignment, whilst the airline ones, not so much. Luggage can be stored on the overhead racks for smaller items, and for larger ones, there are plenty of larger racks throughout the train. There is also a coat hook just above the window, and what appears to be space for a window blind, which I presume is for future-proofing purposes. I think for a regional train, the interior does the job nicely, especially for journeys of under 2 hours, which these units are doing on a daily basis. Not bad. Around half an hour later, we now exit the high-speed line temporarily, with some stunning views of the viaduct as we climb downwards and back onto the lower speed conventional lines. Shortly afterwards, we call at our first stop of Coburg Nord, where the platforms are actually too short to accommodate this 6-car train. Consequently, the rear carriage doors are locked out of use, but we can still see the station and its platform as we depart. We then call at Coburg station itself mere minutes later, long previously part of Thuringia until it became part of Bavaria in 1920 by popular vote. Coburg also acts as a major hub for services across the Franken-Thuringen Express network, with several Desiro HC sets awaiting departure and remaining on standby. The layover here is around 10 minutes, so hopping off the train for some fresh air isn't a bad idea, whilst also enjoying this lovely summer evening. As we depart, we can see one of the classic Desiro HCs for use on small classic lines. The main difference to our sets being the double doors as opposed to the single ones, 4 carriages per train set, and a lower top speed of 160 km/h. After navigating out of Coburg, we exit the classic line to rejoin the high-speed line to Nuremberg once again, with the stunning fallback bridge view present as we do so, before entering the fallback tunnel to join the remaining portion of the line to Nuremberg. Though just over 10 minutes later, the high-speed line ends at Ebensfeld, and we now begin to call at other stations on the main line to Nuremberg, though we do skip a few too, with Holstadt being the first of the latter.
Bamberg. Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung rechts. Next stop.
Looking inside the rest of the train, there's one thing I can't really fault it on. Bike space. It's incredible how much is available here. There is a lot of free space available, as well as dedicated storage racks in most carriages on board. Walking further throughout the train, we can see there isn't really much different to first class and standard, minus the seat covers, though as you saw earlier, first class is ideal if you prefer a more quiet environment. As with the Siemens new generation railjet, the low floor lots of steps design seems to apply, which makes accessing some seating areas in the single deck carriages more difficult as shown here. As for toilets, most of them on board will be standard mixed gender ones, as seen here. Everything was impeccably clean, albeit a bit small, though you will find spaces for coat hooks and shaver sockets too. The accessible toilet can be found in the front driving vehicle along with dedicated wheelchair spaces, and in contrast to the standard one, this was very spacious. It was again impeccably clean and includes space for baby changing facilities as well as shaver sockets and coat hangers as in the standard toilets. Furth is the last stop on today's trip and is a journey of just under 10 minutes to our last stop of Nurnberg Hbf. As for what I think, well, the new rolling stock on the whole is fantastic, and this new service is a game changer for those travelling from Erfurt to local communities in Bavaria, which the ICE doesn't serve, particularly Coburg, which would previously be reached to and from Erfurt by passengers in 3 hours with 2 train changes, and is now a convenient 36 minutes away. I just hope the service is expanded as it continues to operate. 5 return services a day isn't enough. I travelled using a first class Interrail pass, so I just hopped on as reservations aren't compulsory in Germany. Unlike the ICE, however, this train is covered by the €49 Deutschland ticket, which allows unlimited travel on regional trains, buses and other local public transport for 1 month. I would definitely recommend this over the €87.20 first class fare a week in advance, which is not worth it in my opinion. Anyway, we somehow managed to see a rarity in Germany, turning around the delay and arriving into Nurnberg Hbf bang on time. Now it's over to you. What did you think of this new RE29 service between Erfurt and Nuremberg? Have you had a chance to try it yet? Let me know in the comments below. I do hope you've enjoyed the video today, and don't forget to like and share it to aid the channel's growth, as well as subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more content such as this weekly. Right, I've got a little bit of time here in Nuremberg before I have to head back up to Berlin. Thanks so much for coming with me on this trip, and I look forward to bringing you with me on my next one.